everybody, welcome back to JP's Budget Collecting in another episode of Cash or Trash, where JP makes fun of the hot books of the week and craps on them and anybody that's buying them. No, that's not. That's sort of what we do. What's going on? Say how I am. What's happening? Luis and Unruly were tailgating. I'm sure they'll be back in a minute. Empire, what is happening? Angel Dan, what is going on? So this is where I look at this week's CBSI Hot Top 10 and the Comic Tom Key Collector Hottest Trending Comics of the Week. And they're all trash this week, according to Unruly. We'll see about that. And I basically give my opinions. These are my opinions. In 6 months, you'll get the look back. If I've done one of these, I will reveal how I did and how the book did, so you can see if I was smart or if I was dumb. Let's roll real quick through our categories that we used for this as we're breaking these books down. We got our straight cash homie. These are books I think are just going to keep climbing over the next 6 months or longer term, depending on how I talk about it. We got the worth it, where I think, the book's this is probably a good price for the book. It's going to stay in the same range. We got the I'll Be Backs, books that I think are going to stay in the range, but probably come back a little bit, that you can probably get a better deal if you're just patient. It's a trap. These are books that are definitely going to come down, in my opinion. And then we got, occasionally we throw in a Come On Man or a Dumpster Fire for just really what the heck are people thinking kind of books. So there you go. Let's see who else is here. We got VJ Salazar. What's going on? So that is, I guess I should have actually shared. I'm not really ready to go, I guess. So I haven't even shared my screen yet. Share. There we go. Except that's not the first book. There we go. Hey, John, what is happening? Hey, Chris, I'm very organized today. So, first up, we got God Country. This was on both lists this week because it was announced that the showrunner for the Sweet Tooth show that just came out this week is signed on to direct this movie that Donny Cates has been writing the script for 3 years. Supposedly the script is done. Supposedly now they have a director attached. The result is this book jumped up to a $60 book. 9.8 hit $350. And woohoo, they have a director. You're still probably 2 years from this hitting the screen. Yeah, this is I'll Be Back. People will forget again not necessarily forget, but they won't be at the front of people's minds for a while. We don't have casting. We haven't went into production. They just now got a director attached. He's going to have to look at Kate's script. There's a lot that has to go between now and when this comes out. Hey, Deep House, what is going on? It is a solid book. That's why, but I would still put it as an I'll Be Back just because we got time. Yes. If you wanted this, you probably should have already had it. It really hasn't been worth too much. There's always a Donny Boy book or 4 on these lists, especially on the Tom list. So it's just a classic. I'll Be Back. You got some time. They're starting production. There's a little bit of buzz. Come back in a few months when people aren't thinking about it or talking about it. Next, we got DC Comics Presents number 47. First He-Man, first Skeletor in comics. A 9.8 this week hit $3,500. Holy frick. And that was because trailer for the animated show that's supposedly picking up where the original animated show left off dropped. That's where all the buzz is on this. Here's the thing. Think about what Thundercats book, this is about what the Thundercats book is going for, and there's nothing really attached to that for sure. Think about Transformers and G.I. Joe, and some of these books are just going crazy. Yeah. 35 is a lot. But just never saw. You weren't the right age at the right time, Unruly. That's how it usually is. I never saw the allure of Power Rangers because I was about 4 or 5 years too old. So there you go. That's the love of He-Man. Yeah. No, it's this one. Sorry, Empire. This is it. It appeared here before they gave them their own series. I went back and forth on this. 3,500 is a ton. But I kind of lean toward that this is probably the nostalgia. Like, remember, this is like a 6-month thing. Like, that we're talking about this. Like, 5 years from now, my guess is it's an I'll be back. 6 months from now, I guess it's probably worth it right now. I don't see it really coming down. I don't see it really continuing to climb a ton. Like, we'll see. I mean, if the show comes out and people are just like raving about this animated show, maybe it continues to climb. But my guess this is probably in the worth it range, which for $3,500 seems insane to me. But that's just kind of where I'm at on this. Next, we got. Oh, we talked about this a little earlier. We got Sweet Tooth. Yeah. Those episodes. I've never seen that one, but that show is cool. Sweet Tooth #1 show dropped this week. Lots of buzz about it. Raw copies hitting 180, 9.8 hitting 1,000. But this should be obvious. The show dropped this week. You don't go buy it the week the show drops. You just don't. You come back. You come back later. It's just I haven't watched the show yet. I've heard it's good. But yeah, you just come back later on that. Never when the trailer hits, when the show drops, it's always patience. And maybe, my guess is before this, they dropped all the episodes at once, right? I forget where it's coming. This one coming out on, I think they dropped all the episodes. I forget now. But anyway, my guess though is like, it might bump a little bit from this, but then 6-8 months from now, it's going to be down slightly, not a lot. I'll be back. I'm saying it is a great show. So there you go. That definitely helps. And that may give it a little momentum, may carry it high enough that this actually ends up being the price you're getting it at on the I'll be back. We'll see. Netflix. Yeah. So they dropped them all. So there you go. Mm-hmm. Nice. So sounds like people are enjoying it. Seems to be the general consensus is that people think it's good. Next up, Red Thorn #1, because BBC Scotland, not just regular BBC Scotland, like optioned this and going to make it a show because the main character is Scottish, I guess. So people are paying $15 to $35 for this because of a show that's going to be on BBC Scotland that nobody here is going to be able to see. What? I mean, it's BBC Scotland. Come on. I really want to just do this, but it doesn't really go on for high enough value for me to say that. I don't think. It's really just, yeah. I think that's all I need to say about Red Thorn. It's BBC Scotland. That's it. Yeah. It's $15 to $30. I have a hard time putting anything in the same dumpster fire when it's that low of value to begin with. But yeah, it's probably a dumpster fire because, yeah. There you go. John will be able to see it. No, one of us can see it. There you go. Next, we got Stray Dogs #1. So that's the last of our option TV kind of stuff. Stray Dogs #1. This is a cover. This is the Stan Yak Blair Witch variant that was limited to 500. The buzz around this series continues to build. This book has been climbing. Raw copies for this variant are up to 160 with a 9.8 going for 450. But the other #1 covers are starting to climb a little bit. Not a huge amount yet. But this is all about the series and the buzz around the series. And because of that, I think this is probably because people are going after this because of the series. There's no option news. There's no spec necessarily yet. This is the series that's driving these prices. So that makes it's been a slow build. It isn't like #1 just came out. This has been a slow build to get to this point. To me, my guess is this is going to go higher. It's limited to 500. This is popular enough series at this point. That I think that we're going to keep going here. We got a couple people hop in. John, what is going on? Yeah, I doubt they watch me, but hey, so yeah, it might be worth it. I would say it's at least a worth it. This cover in this book, just given and I have not read Stray Dogs yet. It's one that I've heard a bunch of people talk about. I didn't pick it up initially. It sounds interesting. I'll probably try to grab the trade once the trades start coming out. But yeah, so yes, it's very dark from what I've heard. Very, very dark. But just the fact that this has been a slow build to me gives it legs. That this has got momentum and probably going to keep going a little bit. So next we got The Nice House on the Lake, #1. This is the John Gallagher variant. And this book has a little bit of buzz this week. I think John is the one person that I know in the chat that I think did read it. He thinks it's too much. Arian thinks it was too much at that high a price. But it's been building to it. That's the thing. Ordinarily I would agree with you, but I don't know. I think that it's been a slow build. That's why I lean toward that one. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong many a time. So John's, I think, the only person I know that for sure picked this up, but I think a ton of people have grabbed this. The trade dress is going for $60 to $70 on this one. Only one issue is out. To me, this is not necessarily borderline a trap right now. I actually put it down as an I'll be back. If the series is fantastic, this cover is obviously gorgeous. It probably maintains a pretty good value. But this seems a little high. It seems like quick buzz. I mean, I get that there's a lot of buzz around the series. All the covers are going for a well over cover. But yeah, I think I would just put, like I said, I went back and forth on Trap or I'll be back, but I think I'll be back on this one. I think it's going to come down some, but maybe not as much. Generally heard that the buzz has been very good on this one. I don't think that's what that is. What's on the cover there? I only got cover A. Oh, I've still got the banner thing, the little overlay up. I forgot. Yeah, I'm not sure there's a version on that cover, but there you go. All right, let's see what we got next. We got Web of SpiderMan #1. The Mark Bagley 1 in 25 is going for $150. What? $150 because it's the first appearance of Harley Keener, who appeared in the MCU. What's the Coulson first appearance go for? Seriously, what does Coulson's first appearance go for? 20, 25 bucks? Are you effing kidding me? $150 for this? You think that some kid that appeared once in a movie, as a funny little sidekick thing, and then didn't appear again, gonna be in the comics, you think he's gonna be a major character? Seriously, don't do it. $150 for 1 in 25? Yeah. Yes. It's not even I would agree, that is not a great Bagley Spider-Man. I usually like Bagley Spider-Man stuff. Yeah. Yo, Andy, what's up? But first appearance of Harley Keener, and we're going to pay $150 for 1 in 25. There you go. I won't dwell on it. We'll keep moving. Next, we got Black Widow #6. The second print, 1 in 25 design variant. This is the first Lucy Nguyen. I don't know how you pronounce that for sure. that basically is going to be kind of a new Black Widow sidekick. This one in 25 is going for 80 to 100. This is a character they're talking about using, and like they've made comments like that she's going to be important, unlike Harley. But 80 to 100, it's a second print, 1 in 25. So obviously the exception on this is, or the example that people are afraid they're missing out on this is that second print of Captain Marvel 17 with Kamala on the cover. If this girl becomes something, think about what that second print goes for. That's what they've set up here. That's why people are chasing. All right. But to me, we're a long way from having to worry about that yet. This character's a long way from being seen anywhere else, unless he makes like an unexpected and sudden appearance in Black Widow next month. In which case, then I'm completely wrong. There will not be a window to get this for cheaper. But given that Black Widow was supposed to come out a year plus ago, and this is just not coming out now, I'm going to say we're probably pretty safe there. I think this is, yeah. See, you can't see me very, there you go. They are kind of common as an art bit. Yeah, they do them all the time. Yeah, I think if this was going for a round ratio, like a 25 to 30, or around a slightly over ratio, I'd say worth it. At 80 to 100, I'm going to say that's an I'll be back for sure, and maybe even a borderline on a trap. I hate the second print ratio variants. Oh, they drive me nuts. But yeah, to me, yeah, I just think you wait. You just be patient on this. He is correct. That was a well under ordered second print. I don't know. My guess is because this character was known that this second print was pretty well ordered, but a 1 in 25 of a second print is going to be fairly limited as well. But I still think it's just too much. I think you're looking at a $40 to $50 book is where this settles. And then if she doesn't become anything, it drops off the face of the earth. And if she does, then it jumps back up. But that's my guess. What do we got next? We got We Live #1. So this book was moving a little bit just because of series buzz. That people were just really enjoyed the series. So far as I can tell, there's no option or anything, although it looks to me like it's like made for that. I'm kind of surprised it hasn't been optioned at this point. But this hit the list this week because it got nominated for an Eisner. Thank you, RN. That is awesome. I will do a super chat, my little super chat thing, as soon as we're done with We Live. Yeah, everything I've heard, everybody I've heard that's read We Live has really, really enjoyed it. Getting straight fire on that. And this is all the movement here is all buzz on the book and buzz on the fact that it got nominated for an Eisner. It's up to $40 for Raw. 9.8 jumped over 200 this week, and peaked at 230. Now, I will say, typically on an Eisner alone, like you think about like Monstrous, and when the Eisner was a lot of buzz around it, that #1 sat at $40 to $50 for a really long time. I think it's still sitting in that range. So it takes a lot to move it beyond that. So my thought on this is probably you're in the worth it range here, that it's maybe we're getting close to the ceiling on this book. For just based off buzz and an Eisner for now. If you get option news in the next couple of months, then it might jump over to a $100 book. I don't know. I mean, I say that, then you look at like Something's Killing Children that just kept climbing, but that's still going. This is, I believe, done at this point. So, or no, they're bringing it back. It's on hiatus. They're bringing it back. I would still put it in the worth it. I think you're worth it, but saying We Live 5 is the one to get. Well, the first one is always, tends to be pretty good too. But I think, 5 is supposedly a big key as well. To me, I'm going to stick with worth it. It might jump. I might be underestimating it, but I don't think it's really going to drop back much. All right. I said I was promising him the little super chat thing that I do. With that. Yes! Did you see that? You see how they reacted in the chat? They loved it. Take that, Bear Island. There you go. So I always, I gotta give my friend Bear Island a hard time. So it's in talks for an option. So if that comes out, then I'll probably jump a little more. So if that news becomes official, then my guess is then it'll probably be $60, $70, $80 book. Yeah. So yeah, that'll be a big key as well. All right, next we got. Sometimes we're just at this point we're just specking on any Marvel first appearance. Literally. Well, if they're gonna bring the X-Men to the MCU, then they might bring Alpha Flight. That's literally the spec here. That's literally what's going on. That's what they were talking about. That's what's driving this. First team book of Alpha Flight. Maybe they'll follow the X-Men. How far are we from the X-Men coming to the MCU? This book jumped. It's still only going for $10. So yeah, but a 9.8 hit $450. This isn't even the first appearance of Alpha Flight or any of. I think the only character is Puck. I don't remember. There might be another first actual appearance. There you go, 3 cats. You are correct. Starts with the design. I mean, it's not even that I'm hating on Alpha Flight. I just don't like. I don't see the MCU spec here. I don't like we're a decade plus from Alpha Flight. Like, why? I realize that the raw copies aren't going for that much yet. But $450 for 9.8 of this already? To me, this is just like, this is, yeah. The spec here is not solid. I just don't think it's solid. I think people are grasping at stuff. That's the thing. Everyone has one somewhere. Like, you can find these in dollar bins all day long. There are tons of these. That's why I'm like, why would you be paying money for this at this point? You can find these. These are not hard to find. Yeah, it can be good. Doesn't mean it's worth like the spec. Because the Alpha Flight's better than all of them or something. I don't know. What does it say on here? One side heroes. This is a job only we can handle. So yeah, FF is scared. All right. I'll stop making fun of Alpha Flight. And we'll go to Hawkeye #1. There is a first appearance in here of Ramon Watts, but there's also her first solo series. So the spec here is basically her first appearances. And so people are jumping on this because it's her first solo title, first solo series. Here's the thing. This came out several years after she actually appeared. So she's been in a ton of comics before this happens. Where are we at? Yeah, this didn't come out until 2017. But this is going this week for $20 to $40, 9.8, hit 330. And this is basically, they're specking on this like that Miss Marvel #1, but that's only like Kamala Khan's second full appearance. They're specking on this like they're specking on like Miles' first solo title, but that was only his second appearance. You look at like Spider-Gwen #1, that book didn't jump. Silk #1, a little bit. I don't know. To me, this just seems, given how many times she's appeared before this happens, seems like a bit of a stretch, but that's what they're going off of because she is coming to the MCU. And at 20 to 40 for a raw copy, my guess is actually, and given when the show comes out, like November, for the 6-month prediction, despite my hesitancy I'm saying here, is for the 6th month, this is probably this. My guess is this book is significantly more than this when the show is coming out this fall and winter. So yeah, I would say if you're still getting in on it at $20, $25, you're probably in really good shape. But there you go. What we got here? Overall book, 96 got $50. We're acting like MCU forever, self-life. The public is fickle. Yeah. I'll be back. There you go. I'm going wrong for 18. First solo. Yep. Worth the spec for $18. Yeah, if you can get one for $18, definitely. And like I said, over the next 6 months to a year, probably going to go up. And then if that show is a hit and they announce her next project, Like if she gets the Hawkeye movie that he ever got, or there's season 2 or something, it'll probably continue to climb. So, yeah. Now, if you're paying on the upper end, but yeah, if you're getting the raw copy for $20, you're probably doing really good. I think that like eventually the TV series are going to be like a big part of the thing, just where everything's going. Like the movies are still going to be events, but I think the TV series is what's going to drive this whole thing. Yeah, you can find it. That's the thing, is go find it. Go find it. You could definitely find this in back issue bins because people didn't care about it until just now. People are finally like, oh, yeah, this is their first solo. So, all right, next. Subby number 1. I think we got casting rumors and some other stuff. Unless I missed it, I don't think we ever got official casting, but there was rumors that he'd been cast, that he is coming to I lost my place, Black Panther and everything else. I don't know. I'm kind of, at this point, we've been hearing this for so long, I believe it when I see it, but I think eventually, yes, we're going to get Subby. This book, first Silver Age solo, basically all they said was it's setting all-time highs. Like, they didn't actually give prices. This is just all-time highs grades. I don't know that I really need to talk about this because, like, it's a Silver Age key. Even if it is not his first Silver Age appearance, it's first solo. This is a book people love. People are, yeah, it's hitting all-time highs. My guess is it's going to keep going. Yeah, this one's pretty straightforward. Always collectible. You always win. I'm not sure what, but you win. You are a winner, my friend. So, all right. I'm not going to linger on Subby because, yeah. Let's get into some stuff I'm going to make fun of. All right. So, the same rumors which we've had forever about Subby coming to the Black Panther 2 movie, are now saying that Namorita and Atuma, this is the first appearance of Atuma, are also going to be in Black Panther 2. That seems like a stretch. Given that they're like dealing with the whole Chadwick Boseman thing, and I'm sure they're having to do rewrites, it seems like a stretch that they're going to do a full-on Atlantis story. Let's say Atuma. To me, Atuma seems like if you're going to do a Subby movie down the road, that would be where you would use Atuma. Now, having said that, this book is, FF33. It's an under 50 FF book, so it's not like it's crap. Raw copies this week are averaging 615 according to Tom and them. A 9.2 went for 1,300. Despite all of I would still put this as, because I don't think anything's going to happen with this character anytime soon. And put this in, I'll be back. Go find a deal. Take your time. You can find this one. Yeah, it's an under 50 FF, so it's going to be a little bit pricey anyway. Of course, it's big gas because it's Kirby. I'm just saying that, like, probably a little artificial bump here from what it should be just because of these rumors. You could probably find a better deal for your little patient on this. Yeah, super long-term, straight cat. It's early FF. It's going to keep climbing. Next, we got Fantastic Four 352, the second cameo of the TVA, first appearance of the Minutemen. Obviously, this has everything to do with Loki. So, if you haven't seen Loki yet, let's see, the next 3 books are Loki related. I should have put them at the end so I could have told you to leave, but I do have 2 books after that. But so next 3 books are Loki related. This is hitting the list because of that, but it's still going for $5. This is a Tom book. There was a 2,000% increase in sales. It's going for $5. The 9.4 went for 75. Do I think there's long-term value in the TVA and the Minutemen? No. At $5, is it probably worth it? Yes. Atuma is bunny mask? I don't know. I wasn't even paying attention. Does Atuma have a bunny mask on? He does have a bunny mask on, or some kind of creature. Well, that bunny has like fangs and his ears are in front of his eyeballs. And I'm not sure what Atuma's wearing there, but yeah, that's interesting. I didn't even pay attention to that, really. Yeah, $5. It's worth it. You could probably find it in the dollar bin. Yeah. So I'm if you go buy this for $5, okay. I guess you won't eat lunch out that day or something. Next, we got Thor, number 5 from the 2008 run. This is the first appearance of Loki at a female Loki. I realize there's been a couple different versions of a female Loki. This is the one that has kind of historically been considered the first female Loki. We're going to talk about that in a second. Basically, people are saying, and I rewatched it, the end, saying that it's confirmed. I know there's supposedly set photos of a female that looks dressed similar to Loki that they're saying, yeah, definitely it's happening. But they're saying it was confirmed by the cloaked figure at the end, which to me did not necessarily look like a woman, but whatever. Anyway, this book jumped to it's going for $40 to $50 raw. Here's the thing. Do we think we're going to get a female Loki going forward? I kind of doubt that. I lean against that. I don't think so. To me, because of that, this is an only back. I don't think this is a long-term storyline. Maybe it is. Maybe they use that to recast. But if Tom Hiddleston's still willing to do it, why would you recast? To go with a female version, to milk it for longer. That seems unlikely. People love Tom Hiddleston. This is a dumpster trap. We're gonna get to the dumpster trap here in a second. Yeah, exactly. Like you couldn't tell anything, but that's confirmation. Someone was saying that was confirmation. And I was like, okay. Like you could see better than I could what that dark figure was. That's all I know. Nice. So next we have Thor Annual. So on the female Loki train, we have Thor Annual 18, which I guess somebody pointed this out to Key Collector, and he put a spec thing on this. So this is why this is on the list. It was going averaging around $10 and jumped. Now it's selling for 30, 35. Because in this book, and I should have grabbed a picture of the panel. There's basically a panel where Loki's talking to somebody, and he transforms himself into a woman, and then he transforms himself into a monster in the next panel, and then he transforms himself into Thor in the third panel. And it's basically, it's the first cameo of female Loki. So people are paying $30 for this book. Are you kidding me? Oh, we're such easy marks. I mean, comic collectors are easy marks. Yes, sell if you have this. Don't stop. Yeah. I mean, technically, it's correct. It's a key of female Loki, or a cameo of Loki as a woman. I mean, I just want to scream. It's probably, though, realistically more like this. But it's just like, come on. Why is this speculation? Why do you care? Why? Okay. A new character, Flaming Bugaboo. I mean, why would you pay $35 for this? Because one panel has Loki as a woman in a book you've never cared about. You want to talk about a book that you probably find definitely in back issue dollar bins. Jeez Louise. I swear we're such easy marks. Oh, it might be a key for something. Give it to me. Speaking of easy marks, supposedly we're going to get all right. So there's been rumors of a Super Pets kind of thing, Marvel Super Pets kind of animated thing or something. So obviously this is the first appearance of Throg, the Frog Thor. Raw copies are going for $25 again. 9.8 is going for $4.95. This spiked previously, like during the Kate's run or something, because people were like jumping on it then, and yeah. Because he's gonna use Throg. But why it's hitting the list right now is not because of the Loki show, but because an image was revealed of a Lego minifig of Throg. Okay, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. So people are speculating that means it's happening, that there's going to be a movie or something. Lego makes all kinds of figures of characters. Doesn't mean there's a movie coming. But people are jumping on this because of this. Again, Raw went for $25. A 9.8 of this book from 1988, which means there's a ton of them. $495 for the first Throg. I'm clicking on my $495 for the I mean, seriously, what is wrong with us? Why do we do this to ourselves? And like Spider-Man. Come on, bro. Yeah. I don't know. Oh, I think you're talking about the Loki thing. Somebody found it. I don't know. Yeah. I am a Throg hater. You're gullible. Yeah. I mean, all right. Last book of the week. We are going to at least finish on a good book this week. Oh, people are specking on Kang. They're talking about time again. People are like, "Oh, he's going to appear." I think this is Mephisto for this series. I don't think even though Kang has been cast, I don't think we've seen yet. Maybe we do. If we do, we get maybe a cameo at the end of the last episode. But Kang is coming. We know the character's been cast. We know he's going to be in Quantumania. I'd be very surprised if they reveal him already. But it's possible because they let the casting news come out so early that it's possible. So I think this is a higher opportunity than Mephisto and WandaVision. But I still would be a little surprised if we get him this early. But what Unruly says. This was a solid book even before he was coming to the MCU. This is early Avengers. Single digit Avengers. Come on. Yeah. It's Avengers 8. It's going to be worth it. But we had 4-5 went for $1,200. 3-5 for $850 and a 2-5 for $650, which were new highs for those particular grades. But this book is this. It's going to continue to climb. Yeah. So that's this week's list. We had 18 books. I don't know how long I went today. Oh, excuse me. It's not a screen share. Only 40 minutes. That's not too bad. So I want to thank you guys for hanging out while I ranted about some of the crappy books that run us. What about Ramatat? That's a good question. I've always found that confusing, which one I would want if I was going to go after them. Luckily, I'm not really going after either one, but technically the same character. So, hey, Planet, what's going on? Well, you're catching the very end. Tonight, we will have a whatever report. I'm going to go a few minutes early. I'm going 6:45 because I need a few extra minutes. But so I could either do a really short whatever report because I need some extra time between it and when we start D&D on Big Will's channel at 8. Or I could just bump it up a little bit. So I'm going to start that a little early, 6:45 tonight. And then we'll hang out on Big Will's channel for D&D. We're back to the regular game this week. No more Dream Dungeon. And then Tuesday, Invincible Volume 2. Well, this is hardcover Volume 2, which is issues 14 through 24, which I think are trades 4 and 5, I believe. And we're going to have Unruly, Daymares, and Comics on Your Mind. Kirk are going to be joining me for that discussion on Tuesday night on the Indie Show. And fingers crossed my CGC books comes in this week. Comes in the next couple days. They're currently in Kansas City, which normally means for my mail, I should get them tomorrow. But it's never worked that way for a CGC box. Normally they go to Kansas City and they sit there. I've had them sit there for as much as almost 2 weeks before they moved from Kansas City. So I'm hoping that my CGC books come tomorrow, or at least this week sometime. So, but yeah, for those, so hopefully I'll have a CGC unboxing this week. And that'll be it. Next weekend is going to be another light weekend for me. As Father's Day weekend. My dad and I are going fishing for stripers. So we're taking a little trip and we're going to go fishing for stripers. So there'll be no cash or trash next week. Sorry about that, but going to spend it with my dad. So hope you guys all have a good rest of your weekend, and we will catch you later.